Good morning. We are in Cranfield Airport. Same place I was yesterday. Today we are in Microsoft Flight Simulator. I'm using the same headset. So I'm using a Vive Pro 2. And I'm going to try to do the same thing. I'm going to try to do some pattern work here at Cranfield. The airport is EGTC. So I did a little bit of work this morning trying to get a better balance on my microphone and the in-game in-sim sounds. Hopefully it's better. It appeared when I listened to to my recording this morning and the VOD yesterday, like the microphone is a little too hot. So I'm trying to calm that down to I always want to make sure that I am talking above the in-sim sounds, but I want to make sure that you can hear the in-sim sounds when they're there. So that's kind of the goal right there this morning. So I'll interview. Alrighty, not looking too bad. So to start off with, I'll go to my desktop. I'm going to look at, this is the application that Vive Pro runs. So I'm trying to get the settings. Come on. So why ain't that working? Well, normally I can like click on these and it'll open up, but today, of course, that's not going to happen. Let me check one thing. I was gonna explain. It could very well be that because I'm in Microsoft Flight Simulator, it's because it likes to take over the mouse. It could be that I can't do that. So I wanted to look at my settings, but nope, that's just not going to happen. Let me see if I can release my mouse and go from there. Be right back. So we'll try this again. There we go. Yeah, so Microsoft Flight Simulator. Did you grab the mouse again? Yep. Yep, sure did. Sure did. Okay. So I can't share that. It's disappointing. It's very disappointing. Let me see. Gotta return the game. It's my mouse here. Yep. Yeah, so what happens is that when you open like any window, I have no idea why this is programmed this way, but it is. You like open any window, Microsoft Flight Simulator has to grab the mouse. It can't share it with anything. It just has to grab it. But So what that means is that I can't show what I wanted to show to see what my settings are. So the only thing I can do is I can do this. Escape. Escape. So what we can do is this. So the resolution of this headset is 2448 by 2448. So the final rendering, and I have my my render scaling set to 100. The final what's being given to my headset is 2352 by 2352. Back in SteamVR, I have the general setting at 100. So if I remember correctly, that's given me a resolution of 33, I'll say 3326. And I'm taking 50% of that and basically giving that to Microsoft Flight Simulator. That's where we get the 2352 from. So we'll go back in the cockpit. Yeah, things that are things that I just take for granted that can explain. I just have to work a little bit harder here in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Okay. So elevation, that looks about right. So I don't need this anymore. We got everything okay, yeah. Alrighty, so let me see if I can get this plane started. And first I wanna, yeah, look like I'm okay. Yeah, so here you can see that I'm, my Steam VR super sampling is at 50%. And so what's kind of important to make things smooth and stuff is your frame time. And that's certainly higher than where I would like to see. I really would like to see it around 20. So I'm kind of anywhere between, we'll say 25 and 30, somewhere in that range. For like an average FPS of about 30. So we'll just have to see how it all goes. Cool. So, because Microsoft Flight Simulator doesn't have VR controllers, I use hardware. So, my throttle, I have a SATIC throttle prop mixture. So I can control my throttle from here. Mixture controls over here. And I also have a trim wheel. So I think that's about it. For pretty much anything else, I use a voice command to basically I'm trying to replicate what I would normally do if I had VR controllers. They've been promised for this year. I hope that is true. Because for me, I've been using VR controllers with VR since I started using VR. So to have to do this with a mouse and with voice control is inconvenient, being kind. Alrighty, let me get this plane started. Fuel valve. Master battery. Magneto start. Master alternator. Beacon light. Taxi light. Avionics on.
Cranfield ground, Cessna November 256 Bravo Golf, requesting pushback. Cessna November 256 Bravo Golf, pushback request accepted.
So we get to experience something that's broke. ATC. So when I said ATC, it should have showed up a ATC window that was at a distance to me. Instead, I get two windows. One on my right eye, one on my left eye. Right in front of my face. So, how do we fix this? I say ATC. ATC. So that gets it out from in front of my face. Now what else do we have to do? Okay. VR toolbar. So I have to go over here. I've already done this once. I did this once for this application here. But I gotta do it again. It appears like I have to do it for every window that I open up. So I click on this, I click on reset panels. So I'll click on it again to put it away. ATC. ATC. So now the ATC window shows up where it should. As a VR user, some of this stuff just becomes tiring. Have filed bug reports, but I don't see a lot of this stuff improving. VR toolbar. So to get the window to come, like, it should actually be closer to me. So the only way I found out, there may be a better way, but I haven't found it, is I've moved my head in, grab it, move my head back. Do it again. That's about where I want it. Up there. I put it up out of the way. If there's a way, I mean, in other sims that I've used, I'd grab it with a touch controller, I'd pull it right to me. Not possible here. So let's go to, what do we got? We got a plane started. We got the right kind of lights on. So I can go to clearance. Oh, see what ADA said. Nope, that's kind of funny. ADA ain't working. So let's say I want a taxi remain in pattern.
Cranfield ground, Cessna November 256 Bravo Golf with Yankee request taxi to the active touch and go. Cessna November 256 Bravo
Excuse me.
Golf taxi to and hold short of runway 21 using taxiway Alpha. Contact tower on 1 tree, 4.9 tree when ready.
That one.
Taxi to and hold short runway 21 using taxiway Alpha Cessna 6 Bravo Golf.
Alrighty. Guess we can try not to hit anybody here and see if we can get this plane to move. I need anything else? No, I don't think so. I think we're good. Parking brake. Oh, give it a little fuel. Give it full right rudder, trying to get it to turn. Something else with the, so I'm using Microsoft Flight Simulator with the software update number 5 with HotFix number 2. Here's something I noticed with this update. You see the shadows underneath these arrows? It certainly seems like a waste of resources to me. Why do you have to cast a shadow on these arrows? These arrows are simulated. It isn't like the arrows are in real life. You know, like say, like a truck or a plane or something that would cast a shadow. These aren't real. It just seems like to me, it seems like a waste of resources. You know, to actually display the shadow. It's kind of like, when I first saw it, I went, they can't be serious, but they are. And this is what I see, so it's kind of like, okay, whatever. Does seem odd. I mean, on something you're trying to reduce the resources as much as you can. That just seems like a waste. Just Bill's personal opinion. I don't write flight simulators, I just use it. The other thing is these, like for us to operate. So, right now I don't even know what airport that is. What do I have to do? Let me get out of the plane. Cockpit. cockpit. Yeah. So, if I'm not looking at it, I look over here, I can see out of the corner of my eye, there's no label there. If I turn my head, now that label shows up. But look at the size of that that airport marker. The thing's monstrous. And actually, when you take off, you actually fly like when I take off here, I'm gonna fly right through it. it's just bizarre, you know. But once again, I fly in VR, so these are the things that I see in VR. Are they the same in 2D? I don't know that. I just don't fly in 2D. But pretty much all of the indicators, I mean, all of the, rephrase that, all of the aircraft tags and stuff, the airport tags, I mean, they're all like just monstrous. They are easy to read, no doubt about it, but I don't think they need to be this big, you know, so, cockpit. So the program I use to allow me to use voice for to replicate my VR controllers is I use voice attack, and I have a profile that I have customized to my liking of what I find important. It actually works quite well. I've been quite happy with it. The only thing I haven't quite got figured out is how to turn knobs. I use a program in X-Plane called Plane Command that Lee Baker wrote, and that one there I can actually give it like an altimeter setting. I can give it a comm frequency, a nav frequency. I can just say the numbers and it'll put it in there. Haven't figured out how to get voice attack to do that. I'm sure it can. I just haven't taken the time to figure out how to do it. So, because I was actually hoping that we would have by now had VR controller support. I would have hoped that, but not the case. I have two headsets that I am testing out with Microsoft Flight Simulator. One of them is this one here, a Vive Pro 2, and the other one is an HP Reverb G2. And I did a little test video with my HP Reverb G2 this morning, and it looked really good. It is not the cockpit is not as crisp and as sharp as what this one is, but it was okay. It wasn't bad. It was okay. But the frames, like here I'm 30, it was 45. It was markedly different, and I think I was around 20 milliseconds, so that was quite promising. To get 45 frames normally would be, let me think a minute. I think 45 frames is about 11 milliseconds, so wasn't perfect, but that was kind of weird. That just popped in. The sign up here, they just popped in. So once again, this is what, yeah, and that just turned to, so here's what's going on. Is to, the best I can tell, to increase the frames, you basically, unless you're close enough to something, you don't display it. So first, it kind of showed the A over there, and it did show the 21. As I got a little bit closer, then it showed the 21. That's not real life. It is how you can reduce, increase frames, but if you're going to increase performance, probably better find a better way than that, at least in my opinion. Alrighty, let me, guess I gotta go over to the tower. I thought it would have told me, but no. That one. Set 3. Set 3.
Cranfield Tower Cessna November 256 Bravo Golf at runway 21 ready for departure, touch and go.
Cessna November 256 Bravo Golf altimeter 29er.9er 2 wind 272 at 7. Last touch and go approved. Cleared for takeoff runway 21.
Got one. Got one.
Cleared for takeoff runway 21 Cessna 6 Bravo Golf.
My microphone wasn't where it belonged. So now my voice should be a little bit louder. And hopefully ATC listens to me better. We'll see. I was using Pilot's ATC, a different program on X-Plane yesterday. She was not listening to me at all. Not at all. Alrighty. So, sure everything's okay. Nav light, landing light, taxi light. Try to get over here in the center line. Airspeed's alive. Up we go. Yeah, look at this thing. That's hilarious. That is hilarious. I think I picked a few clouds. The live weather here is pretty bad, so I chose not to punish myself with it. So we're just gonna do some touch and goes here at Cranfield, and I think tomorrow. I don't think I'm gonna do it today. I think tomorrow I'm going to fire up Microsoft Flight Simulator again, and I'm going to use my HP Reverb G2 just to see what the difference is. So within 3 days I will have done touch and goes at the same airport, and with 2 different headsets. So what I'm trying to see is first, I'm looking at actually 2 things. One is how does it look to me? That actually looks fairly smooth. And how does it look? I'm gonna pull the power back here to 2000. But the other part of this experiment is how does it look to a viewer on the stream? Streaming VR is, I enjoy it, no doubt about it. I enjoy it because I enjoy VR. But streaming it, you have to have so many things right for it to come off. Pleasant experience may not be the right term, but an acceptable experience, I guess, would be the right term. So we're at 2,000 RPM or so. We're at level flight at around 1,000 feet above the ground, and basically paralleling that runway, and at around 80 knots. I'm a little below that. I'm 75, but it's stable, so that's cool. Alrighty, so once you're beam the numbers there, then we'll and you're in the white arc, we'll put a notch of flaps on. Flaps down. So 1 notch of flaps is down. And kind of the goal here is you need to start descending, because you have to get rid of 1,000 feet of elevation. Before you touch your runway. Set 1.
Cleared for touch and go runway 21 Cessna 6 Bravo Golf.
Flaps down. So I'm going to feed back some throttle. Yeah, I'm gonna try about 1800. So this is default scenery here. So I don't have any add-ons or any of that stuff right here. Kind of looking where the runway is, make sure I'm not too close, too far away. I'm about where I belong. So we have 2 notches of flaps out, and so now it's just a matter of slowly descending, kind of looking at where the runway is, and seeing where my elevation is. When I turn on final, the goal would generally be to be 500 feet above the ground, so that you, in that period of time, you have to get rid of 500 feet. And if everything's working right, that'll happen. And you don't never put the last notch of flaps out until you're very sure you're gonna make that runway. The speed looks good, maybe a little bit fast. Actually quite a bit fast. Because I should be about 65 right here. So I'm above that. Flaps down. So I'm sure I can make this runway. And flaps will also kind of decrease my airspeed a little bit. But you have to make sure that you're certainly in the white arc when you're doing this. So hand on the throttle. Coming on in for a landing. When you start to get close, pull back on the yoke a little bit. Little bit. Little bit. Little bit. Little bit. And you touch down. Flaps up. Flaps up. Flaps up. And on we go. Happy with that one. Very, very happy. That was an approach that I had a little too much airspeed, but made a correction to get the airspeed. I was almost 80. I wasn't at 80, almost 80, and so I made a correction to get it down to about 70. So when I went across the threshold, I was probably 70, and but within a short period of time, I got it to 60. And at that point in time, then it's just a matter of using your using the yoke to pitch the airplane up until it's pitched up enough that at the power setting you have, it won't fly. It's gonna stall. Stall horn didn't go off, but it was close. It was really close to stalling. So that's kind of the goal. When you come in for a landing, you want to be really, really close to stall speed, but you only want to do that when you're a foot off the ground. Hopefully a little less. But okay, so just about right here. I'm gonna pull back on the power. I go to about 2,000 right here. So I have a pretty area here. So when your airspeed changes with a fixed pitch with the propeller that is not variable pitch, your airspeed kind of controls your propeller a little bit. So you can pull the throttle back, and sometimes you'll have to readjust to kind of get it to balance it where it should be. So the other helper thing I do here is get straightened up here. If you look down in the bottom here, there's a little orange bug. Now, I set that bug. It's set on 21, so it's set on the runway heading. So right now I'm on a downwind, and on downwind, that's where it should be. It should be in the bottom. So whenever I make a turn, like turning off when I took off on the runway, it's going to be at 90 degrees of that. When I turn the base, it's going to be at 90 degrees again. So it's just a nice visual reminder to kind of keep you where you should be while you're doing a pattern. So we're just about to beam the numbers. We got too much power here. I was above, I was out of the white arc. Now we're not. Flaps down. And I pulled too much power back, but there we go. That's better.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, wind 272 at 7. Clear touch and go left, traffic, runway 21.
Set 1.
Cleared for touch and go runway 21 Cessna 6 Bravo Golf.
So, I think it might have been yesterday. I was flying here and flaps down, and the wind was like a 230 at 21. I was having a heck of a time getting the plane to slow down enough I could land. That was just crazy. So today's a much better day. It's a lot easier to land today. Oh, need to give a little more power. The airspeed I kind of like, but it's something that I've noticed is for some reason the trim doesn't seem, at least currently, in the plane that I'm flying, the trim doesn't seem to be as critical as it was in the plane I was flying in X-Plane. They're both 172s, but I just don't know why that would be true, but that's what I found. I'm too fast. Flaps down. So I got both flaps. We're coming in. So we come across the threshold at 60. I recovered from that. I'm gonna pull the power back. Back. Flaps up. Flaps up. Flaps up. Airspeed's alive. Trying to stay right on the center line here. Up we go. I have watched streamers flying airplanes, and on like a runway like this, I've watched them take off with like a notch of flaps, and I'm not sure, because I was never ever taught to do that on a short field takeoff. Yeah, you need to do that. But on a regular paved runway that's 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 feet long, I'm not sure the point. I'm not sure. I just not. But I just know what my training is, and I try my best to fly an airplane as my training taught me. So, figure 108 hours in a Cessna 172 with probably about 100 of them with an instructor right alongside of me. So I tried to gain at least a little bit of knowledge from that. Alrighty. So we still got, we haven't quite made it to pattern altitude yet. I think I was a little too fast. I was climbing too shallow. I wasn't climbing fast, steep enough. So well, we're back to 2,000 now, so I'm good. Yeah, and like, the part of what I do every once in a while, probably not good for the viewer, but I just look out, and I'm trying to see a stutter, and quite frankly, I'm not seeing that. Now that doesn't mean the stream isn't, that you're not seeing that in the stream. I don't mean that at all, but it means what I'm seeing in the headset. And this is one beefy headset, so I'm a little bit below pattern altitude here, I'm trying to get that back. So that my approach is kind of consistent. Alrighty, there is the threshold. Flaps down. I'll pull back the power a little bit. Maybe 1900, something like that.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, wind 272 at 7. Clear touch and for left traffic, runway 21.
Set one.
Cleared for touch and go runway
Flaps down.
21 Cessna 6 Bravo Golf.
My girlfriend's making French onion soup, so I can smell that aroma from the kitchen. It's like, this smells so good. I just love French onion soup. We both do. Alrighty, doing too bad. Power's about where I want it. Maybe a little bit too much, but I'm thinking at the elevation I'm at, I'll be okay. So we're just looking at that runway, just kind of trying to figure out when's the appropriate time to turn in here. Yeah, I did a test video. Yes, last night I was flying, and just trying to make sure I got everything right for the stream today, and I think I'm in pretty good shape. So that's the outer middle marker. Flaps down. So kind of the goal here is you want to be around 60, 65 knots. You want to be descending about 500 feet per minute. Looking not too bad. You want that end of that runway to kind of like not be moving. You want it to kind of stay right there. So, pull back on the power, pull back on the yoke, back on the power, back on the yoke. Sooner or later, you run out of elevation. Flaps up, flaps up, flaps up, flaps up. So when you're landing, you're just pitching the airplane up. You're pitching the nose up. So sooner or later, that angle of attack will be at such an angle that the plane no longer has any lift. When it doesn't have any lift, it's going to fall. As long as you're not 10 feet off the ground, and that you're maybe a foot off the ground, maybe 2, hopefully less than 2, the plane's going to land. And how well you control that loss of lift is how well you land an airplane. So I have a Fulcrum 1 yoke. It was the not the cheapest piece of sim hardware I bought, but it, to me, I would rate it actually above a VR headset. It is so much like what I remember a 172, because the how far you can turn it left and right, so 90 degrees left and right, and then the stroke. So on a 172, most GA aircraft, they got a stroke of about 8 inches. Now that's 8 inches back and 8 inches in. I don't know of another yoke that you can buy for a sim. Pull my power back here. It has that stroke. Even the Yokos? Nope. Redbird? I don't think so. So when you basically build a custom yoke, that will cost you. So right now, I think in the US you can probably get one for 500. So is it more than a honeycomb? Yep. Look at the shaft on a honeycomb. Look at how small it is. Is that the size of the shaft in your real Cessna? Nope. This has a 1-inch shaft, just like what's in a real airplane. So Chris, the developer, whoops, way too fast. I was doing like about 110 knots. I looked down, went, what are you doing? I gotta get the
Clear touch and go left. Traffic. Runway 21.
set one. So I had to get the plane slowed down.
Runway 21 Cessna 6 Bravo Golf.
And I'm doing it wrong. Flaps down. But I was pulling back on the power, and I'm descending too much, so I'm a little bit away from the airport here, and I'm a little bit too low. So we flaps down. So we got to recover from all of this. But the yoke is just so nice to fly with. Yeah, I'm further away from the airport than I should be, because I lost my train of thought, concentration, and had the airplane fly in way too fast on a downwind. I was at about 100, maybe 95 knots. So that means you're going to get down there faster, and you'll get further away. And so my response was, as opposed to pulling up on the yoke and getting rid of the airspeed, was pull the power back. Well, that meant I was going to descend. So I looked over, and I'm like 500 feet above the ground. I'm like, it should be 1,000 feet. So, but we kind of recovered, so we'll be okay. Alrighty. So let me go back to 1,500. 1,500, Bill. That'll be good. So. Flaps down. Are we descending enough? Oh, there we go. Okay, we're good. Bit of a steep approach, but we can figure it out. Way too fast. Way too fast. Don't land at this speed. Use a little more of this runway. Flaps up. Flaps up. Flaps up. So, so you know how long the runway is you're landing on. So, so when I was coming in there, I come across the threshold at about 80 knots. Kind of like, got to get it down to about 40 to land. So I had to get rid of 40 knots. So what do? Do you shove the nose down? No, no, don't do that. Long as you got the runway, just slowly let it run out of speed. Pull back, ease back on the power, not pull back, ease back on the power, and just fly the airplane onto the runway. And so that's what I did. Used up quite a bit of the runway, but wasn't like I was going to go off the end of the runway and not land. No, that was not going to happen. Oh. Alrighty. Yeah, it's working pretty good. I hope the VOD turns out okay, or the stream turns out okay. So we squared up here. So right now that my heading bug there is over on the right hand side. So and that's what you should be doing. You should be making all these turns kind of in 90 degree increments. So it's just a visual reminder to kind of help you doing. I do it whenever I'm going to do a landing, unless I'm doing a straight in approach. But even if I am, it kind of helps you make sure that that you're absolutely going to that you're going to land on the right runway, because you can be given instructions, and I've done it more than once where I was using Pilot's ATC, and basically I was talking to the wrong tower. I wasn't talking to the tower that was the airport I was landing at. I had the frequency wrong. So they give you a number, and so if you dialed in that number, when you're coming in on your final, you kind of like look and go, that's not right. And then when you get really close to final, you look at the number and go, that doesn't match. So it's kind of like, okay, then go around and figure out what's wrong. Because something's wrong. Flaps down. Flaps down.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, wind 272 at 7. Clear touch and for left traffic, runway 21.
Okay. Set 1. Set 1.
Clear touch and go runway 21.
Flaps down.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf.
How long have we been playing around here? About an hour. Okay. Not bad. Whoops. What happened? That's weird. Cockpit. Cockpit. Oh, this is real fun. Instrument view. Why won't the plane respond? Oh, this is bad. Instrument view. Cockpit. Instrument view. View instrument. Cockpit. Cockpit. Center view. Instrument view? View instrument? This is entertaining. I'm not sure what's wrong, but I can't get back in the cockpit. Something kind of like blew me right out of the cockpit. Flaps up. And I have no reference as to what my airspeed is. Flaps up. The plane seems like it wants to descend. I'm trying to give it enough power. Instrument view. We'll try this. Active pause. Pause. That ain't working. View instrument. Normally that'll get me in the cockpit, but instrument view. Instrument view 1. Instrument view 2. Now this is entertaining. I think I'm climbing. Kind of looks like I am, which is kind of good. View instrument. Oh, this is hilarious. So let's see what I can do here. One thing I can do is so all of a sudden it put me back in the cockpit. I have no idea what happened. So there's the airport. And I am too high. I thought I was, so that's cool. So let's do get down kind of where I need to be. that there was just crazy. I have no idea what that was. What I was trying to do is get to my my voice attack profile. Well, actually the application, and try to figure out if the commands were coming in, because I know I was giving it a command that should have been looking at my instruments, and but that didn't seem to be working. So alrighty, find out where the runway is here. There it is. Okay. Okay, there we go. Same runway, right runway, hopefully. There's a lake over there. Looks like there is. I don't think I went that far away. So it says I'm low. Set 2?
Cranfield Tower Cessna November 256 Bravo Golf is unfamiliar with the area. Request directions to the airport.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf Airport is 11 o'clock 2 miles.
Flaps down. So I'm too low. I'm going to give it some power. Flaps down. Flaps down. There's a 21. I'm on the right airport. Oh, that there was hilarious. Okay, too fast. Flaps up. Flaps up. Flaps up. So, what just happened, you could consider that as an emergency. So basically, I was outside of the airplane. I couldn't get back in it. So, but when you're in an emergency, what's the most important thing to do? The most important thing to do is fly the airplane. So that's what I was continuing to do. I didn't have any reference points. So when you're in 2D mode and you're outside the airplane, the airplane like that, you got like the you can have the the altimeters out there, your heading indicator, all that stuff's out there. In VR, it's not there. I don't know why, but it's just not. So so you don't have a reference. So you kind of like just have to look down at the ground and kind of go like, how far above the ground am I? And you just have to guess. You don't know. So so that's kind of what I was doing. And excuse me. So I was just doing that, trying to just trying to fly the airplane and find a solution. I think we're doing a full stop landing. That was enough. Maybe one touch and go, one more touch and go, because that was legitimately stressful. So I should be back here at 2,000 RPM. And that's the only serious disadvantage of using voice commands. And I probably need a map a button, you know, that will basically plant me in the cockpit. I probably really need to do that, because the voice commands actually work quite well, but every once in a while the view commands, the camera commands, every once in a while they will get messed up. So alrighty, so we're beam the numbers a little bit low. Flaps down.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, wind 272 at 7. Clear touch and go left traffic, runway 21.
Well, she didn't forget about me. That's good. Flaps down. Set one.
Cleared touch and go runway 21 Cessna 6 Bravo Golf.
That was funny. Flaps down. Flaps up. Flaps up. Flaps up. Okay, full stop landing this landing. That looks better. Set 2.
Cranfield Tower Cessna November 256 Bravo Golf 1,000 feet to land.
Cessna November 256 Bravo Golf Cranfield Tower. Altimeter 29er, 2 wind 272 at 7. Enter left traffic, runway 21.
Set 1.
Enter left traffic runway 21 Cessna 6 Bravo Golf.
Flaps down.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, wind 272 at 7. Cleared to land runway 21.
Set 1.
Cleared to land runway 21 Cessna 6 Bravo Golf.
Flaps down. Bad approach. Flaps down. Flaps up.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, turn next taxiway.
Flaps up. flaps up. It's an odd taxiway. Almost like it's going backwards. Normally they don't make them that way.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf exit, runway when able.
Yeah, I'm working at it.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, contact ground on 122.855.
122.855 for Cessna 6 Bravo Golf.
My co-pilot got it. That one? That two?
Cranfield ground, Cessna November 256 Bravo Golf, taxi to parking. Cessna November 256 Bravo Golf, taxi to general aviation parking using taxiway Charlie Alpha. Taxiing to general aviation parking via taxiway Charlie Alpha, Cessna 6 Bravo Golf.
So I was on Charlie and this is Alpha. Whoops. Almost taxied by the guy. That would have been good. He would have been upset. Alrighty, I'm coming. Yeah, I'm working at it. There we go. You happy now? Okay. Parking brake. Avionics off. Nav light. Land light. Landing light. Beacon light. Fill the engine. Master battery. Master alternator. Magneto off. Magneto off. Cool. Got no idea. The camera in here is just hilarious. Alrighty, it's been fun. I'll wrap the stream. To anybody who may watch this video in the future, please click on the follow button, and so that when I go live, you can watch my craziness in VR. So I fly Microsoft Flight Simulator in VR, and fly and stream, and I fly and stream X-Plane in VR, and I absolutely have a lot of fun doing it. So sometimes it's a bit of a challenge. Today was a treat. It's so funny, I got like locked out of the cockpit. I couldn't get back in, and then all of a sudden I was just presented to the cockpit. I was like, how did that happen? I had no idea. But I need to find a better method to, if that happens, to get myself back in the cockpit. So, what a skepticism. Alrighty. Guys, all have a great day. And I know I've had a lot of fun. And what are you doing? Stop pushback. I was like, I seen him approaching the plane. I'm kind of like, what's he gonna do? Oh yeah, he's gonna push my plane. All right, guys, all have a great day. Catch you later. Have a great day.